All right, in this lesson, we're going to look at a simple loop with a counter. Okay, so what we're going to do is have the user enter integers, and it'll keep multiplying these integers together until it's divisible by 0. Then it's going to tell us how many integers we entered and what the product of the numbers are. Okay, so we've got an input. So we need a variable, so I'm just going to call that number equals, oops, should be int. Input. And we say enter and integer. We're not going to tell them what we're doing. We're just going to tell them to enter an integer. Then they'll find out after they've entered some multiple of 3. All right, so to start with, the product of the numbers, if we've only got one integer, is going to equal the same as just what we've entered. And we want to have a counter. So I'm just going to call that count equals, and we'll start with 1 because after we've entered our first number, that's 1. Right, now we're going to go into the loop. So I'm going to say while. Now the way we're going to figure out if it's divisible by 3 is we're going to look at mod 3. Okay, so we're going to have number, then the percent sign, then 3. So remember, what that's going to look at is what the remainder is. When we take a number and divide it by 3, what is the remainder? Okay, so we're going to keep doing this until the remainder is 0, because that would be divisible by 3. So we're going to do this while it's not equal to 0. Now we want to put a colon there. That's going to indent for us, and everything that's indented under that is part of our loop. All right, so now we're going to have them enter again. And I'm just going to copy that. Okay. All right, so let's say they've entered a 7. So now our product and our number are both 7. So now we're going to enter another variable for the product, and we're going to multiply that times the integer that we had originally. Okay, so now our number is going to equal the product of our numbers, we've just got 1 right now, times our number, and that number is our running count, or our running product. Okay, then we want to keep up the count. So the count equals our count plus 1. Okay, so we started out with 1. We've entered another number here. So it'd be 1 plus 1. Then when it goes through this again, our count is 2. So that'd be 2 plus 1, and it will continue. Then when we get to the point where our number is divisible by 3, we're going to exit the loop. And let's say, okay, we'll print. Oops, I don't need a space in there. You entered, and then I'm going to put a space, so there'll be a space after enter in the before the number. So plus. Okay, so you entered however many numbers we entered. Oops, didn't want that. Okay, so it's going to tell us how many numbers we entered. Then we want the product of all the numbers that we entered. So we'll say print the product, which is divisible by 3 is, and then we want to give the number. So we've got to convert that to a string. All right, so let's see what happens when we run this. Enter an integer. So if I enter 6, okay, I entered 1 numbers. The product, which is divisible by 3, is 6, okay? I want to put some spaces in here. I need a space after the is right there, and a space after the 1. Okay, so I want to put a space there, and a space there. All right, so let's enter some numbers that are not divisible by 6. Let's say 5, 7. Now when I put in 12, 12 is divisible by 3, which means the product's going to be divisible by 3. I entered 3 numbers, and the product, which is divisible by 3, is 420. Let's try it one more time. As long as I'm entering numbers that are not divisible by 3, it's going to keep going. Now let's put in 21. 21 is divisible by 3. 21, or 3 times 7 is 21, so that should end it. We entered 5 numbers. The product, which is divisible by 3, is 4,700. And that's all there is to just a simple loop with a counter.